Scene 1, time May 18, 1942. Location, Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, United States of America. Place, the apartment of Sol and Tilly Levine. A young man is holding an envelope. His name is Ernie Levine. He is 19 years old. He lives with his parents, Tilly and Sol Levine. Ernie opens the envelope, removes the letter that is inside, and examines it. He is shocked.
No!
What is
They
it?
can't do this to me.
What can they do to you? What are you talking
No
about?
way.
Ernie, you're making no sense. What's the matter?
Why, if they think I'm going, they have another thing coming to them.
What? What's all the screaming? I could hear you a block away.
Pop, they ain't taking me and I ain't going.
A man enters. It is Ernie's alter ego. He looks directly at Ernie.
Who are you?
I'm the little guy inside your head who tells you when you're acting like a putz.
Get the hell out of here.
Not so fast, pal. I have something to say to you. You got home in the evening and opened up the mail. The news you got was awesome. It made you quake and wail. Your native land was calling for you to stand and serve in the military service from which you sought to swerve. You moan and groan and cloud to all your friends and kin. This is an injustice to which you're not within. Your reason was so simple. It was almost childlike too. It has to do with baseball, a game you like to view. The Dodgers were your idols, you know, the Brooklyn Bums. They won a lot of ball games in 1941. You planned to be in Brooklyn to watch the Dodgers win the 42 World Series, which was to be you a shooter. But now your plate's been shattered and has fallen to the floor, all smashed to bits and pieces, like your plans which are no more. It's time for you to grow up.
Oh, shut up!
Ernie's alter ego exits.
What are you talking about? What's he talking about?
I don't know. I was in the kitchen making dinner, and all of a sudden, I hear him screaming like, I don't know what.
See what you've done? You're scaring your mother.
Gee, Pop, I didn't mean to scare anyone. I just don't know what to do.
About-
What am I going to do?
About what?
About going into the army, that's what.
What's that in your hand?
It's a notice from the draft board.
Well, what does it say?
Here, Pop, you read it. I can't. It's too painful.
Dear Ernest Levine, this is to inform you that you have been reclassified to 1A effective immediately. You are to report to Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn, New York on June 2nd, 1942 for induction. Sincerely, Abner McKnight, Chairman, Draft Board Number 53, Eastern District of Brooklyn, New York, Department of Selective Service, United States Army. I thought you were exempt because you worked in a war industry.
I thought so too. I gave him a letter from Mr. Friedman saying that I was an essential worker. Now they're pulling a fast one on me. I'm not going to take this lying down. I'll write to the mayor, call my congressman. I got to go do something. I can't afford to go. I just can't. Don't you understand?
Of course we understand. We love you.
I know you do, Mom. You and Pop are the best parents a guy could ever have, but I got to deal with this. They made me go to the army. I don't know what I'll do.
Don't do anything rash, son. You gotta try to remain calm.
Listen to your father, Ernie. He knows best about these things.
I remember when I received my draft notice back in 17. Boy, was I shocked. I didn't think they'd ever call me. A kid from the slums of New Jersey with flat feet, no less, and a hacking cough. But if you gotta go, as the saying goes.
Pop, I'm in no mood for sayings. This is serious. If they take me, my entire life could be ruined.
My poor baby. He's our only child. Can the government actually draft him?
Yes, they can, but the law is the law, and we have to comply. Otherwise, we'll all be in trouble.
Oh my, what are we going to do? I don't want to lose my baby.
I don't want to lose him either, but in times like this, we have to be brave.
I don't mind being brave either, but there's a time and a place for everything, and right now this ain't the time or the place.
End of scene 1. Scene 2, time the next day. Place, the interior of an office located in Friedman's department store on Myrtle Avenue, Brooklyn. In the office is a middle-aged man, Herbert Friedman, owner of the store, and his secretary receptionist, a cute-looking teenage girl, Molly O'Brien. Molly is on the phone.
You have to speak to Mr. Friedman about that. I let him know that you called. No, you don't need to leave your telephone number. Hey, there's no need for it to get fresh. The nerve of that guy.
Who was it?
Some guy looking for a job.
I don't know what to do. They're calling me, trying to get a deferment, but I can't help them. Yet they keep calling. What did he say that got you so worked up?
He asked me if I wanted to go dancing.
What's wrong with that?
When a boy says he wants to go dancing, he's thinking a lot about more than just dancing, if you get my drift. And I'm not that kind of girl.
In my day, if a young man asked a young lady to dance, that's what he meant. A boy knew how to treat a girl. There was none of that tomfoolery that goes on today. I blame it on the movies. Kids are watching too many movies today. That's the problem. Somebody's really got to do something about Hollywood.
Well, I'm a good girl, you can count on that.
Of course you are, Molly. That's why I hired you.
If my father ever caught a boy getting fresh with me, he'd give him a whooping that he'd never forget.
And you would deserve it, too.
And my mother would do even worse. We go to church every Sunday.
Wonder where Ernie is.
Probably hanging out with his pals in the pool hall down the street.
Oh, he's late, and I need him.
You want me to call his home?
He don't have a phone.
Oh, I forgot.
I'll give him 10 more minutes. If he doesn't show up by then...
Sorry, Mr. Friedman, for being late. It won't happen again.
I hope not, Ernie. If there's one thing I detest, it's tardiness. I told you that when I hired you.
I know, sir. Good morning, Molly. You're looking as lovely as ever.
Thank you, Ernie, and good morning to you.
Enough of that small talk, you two lovebirds. Go make eyes at each other on your own time. Now, Ernie, we received a shipment of model airplanes yesterday. Stock them. After that, I want you to deliver some teddy bears stuffing to Shine Blooms on the Bowery. You got that?
Yes, sir. One other thing. Can I speak with you in private?
Something serious?
Very serious.
I was just on my way out to meet a supplier. I'll tell you what, how about later this afternoon?
That would be swell, Mr. Friedman.
Good. If any more people call about getting a job, just take their names and tell them we'll be in touch, okay?
Yes, Mr. Friedman.
Good.
Mr. Friedman's such a swell guy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, why so down?
I don't want to bother you with my problems.
Hey, you big bozo, what are friends for?
Well, since you put it like that, maybe I should tell you.
Yes, maybe you should.
Well, yesterday I got home from work and I got a letter from the draft board saying that I was now 1A and have to report for induction.
Oh, my.
Exactly my reaction too.
When do you have to leave?
In about 3 weeks.
What about us?
What about us?
You know that, well, that I like you.
And I like you too, Molly.
But now that you're leaving, what's going to happen with us?
Nothing's gonna happen to us because the whole thing is one big mistake. Besides, I can't afford to leave. I just can't. It would kill me.
Ernie, don't talk that way.
That's how I feel about it.
I never heard you talk that way before. So manly.
Well, now you've heard it. I'm gonna take this line down. I know a war's going on, but I just ain't ready to go. I can't go. Not yet.
Well, Ernie, you know you can count on me to be on your side.
No, Molly, you're one swell gal.
And you're one heck of a guy.
End of scene 2. Scene 3. Place, same as scene 2. Time, 5 p.m. Mr. Friedman is at his desk looking at some papers. Molly is gone for the day, and Ernie enters.
Mr. Friedman?
Ernie, did you stock the airplane to make that delivery like I told you?
Took care of everything, sir.
Good. If you keep your nose clean and work hard, you'll go far in this business.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Friedman. Would it be okay if I speak with you now about that serious matter I mentioned to you this morning?
What's the serious matter? Why, is there something wrong?
Well, yes, sir, there is.
Well, what is it?
Well, it's like this.
Stop pussyfooting around and get to the point. It's been a long day and I want to close the store.
Mr. Friedman, I received a notice from the draft board informing me that I was now 1A and ordering me to report for induction.
Is that all?
Is that all? Isn't that enough?
My dear boy, we all go through things like this. Remember back in 1898 when I was about your age, war broke out with Spain and I had to answer the call of duty. It was a big step to take, but it made a man out of me. Now we're at war again, and now it's your turn to serve. And I forgive you for being late this morning.
But sir, what about that letter you gave me saying that I was an essential worker? I gave it to the draft board. Now they're telling me that I'm 1A. I just can't go.
You better can that talk right now before I forget you're like a son to me.
But sir, you don't understand.
What's there to understand? You have your duty, now do it. We'll manage while you're away serving your country.
I'm glad to know that, but you just don't understand.
Ernie, have you gone daffy? Must I call an ambulance and have you taken to Bellevue?
Gee, Mr. Friedman, I am losing my mind. It's a lot more serious than that.
Then what's gnawing at you?
can't leave because, well,
I don't have all day, son, so spit it out.
you know that I'm a Dodgers fan.
Yes, I do.
And last year I saw the Dodgers play 30 times.
So you're a Dodgers.
That's right, and that's the problem. All I can think about is the Brooklyn Dodgers. I worry about them, even dream about them. They had such a great year last year. That's because I was there for them. I live for the Dodgers. They're more important to me than anything else in the world. Please, Mr. Friedman, help me. Write another letter for me. Call the draft board. Do something, please.
Do your parents know about this?
You're the first one I'm told. I couldn't tell my pop. He wouldn't understand. He thinks following sports is a waste of time.
He's right. It's frivolous and ruins the mind.
Sir, you're wrong. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Baseball players are a bunch of drunks. Why you waste your money idolizing a bunch of drunks is beyond me.
Gee, I thought you'd understand.
Ernie, it's about time you grow up.
I am grown up. Grown up enough to get drafted. What should I do?
Report for induction as ordered. What else can you do?
Maybe tell the draft board that my parents can't work?
But that would be lying, Ernie. Your father has a job working in the butcher store. They would find out.
Then help me, please, Mr. Freeman. Write another letter, please.
My, oh my, pull yourself together, boy. Get all this baseball nonsense out of your head. Do your parents know that you've been drafted?
Yes.
And what did they say?
Nothing much.
Nothing much. They must have said something.
I really can't remember.
Maybe I should call your father.
Please don't. That would only make things worse.
Make what things worse? You're not making yourself clear. Or are you nothing but a draft dodger?
Please, sir, I'm not a draft dodger. I just can't go. Please believe me, I just can't do it.
So, well, you better do it. Otherwise, you'll be shot for desertion, and that won't look too good on your record. So, you do what you've been ordered to do, and don't give me any more back talk.
Yes, sir.
Can't believe the Brooklyn Dodgers. What rubbish.
End to scene 3. Scene 4, time 9 a.m. the following day. Place, the reception room of Draft Board 53. Sitting at a desk is a secretary, Iris Clarkson. A man enters. He is Abner McKnight, chairman of the Draft Board.
Have all the notices been mailed?
Yes, I have.
Good. We gotta keep on top of things.
Yes, sir. Last week, my brother was called up.
Oh, was he?
Yes, he's 25 years old and just got a job as a bookkeeper.
There's a war on, and the army needs men fast.
He's willing to do his duty, but my mother is worried out of her head. She don't know how we'll manage financially when he's gone.
It's tough, but we all have to make sacrifices. Tell your mother that she should be comforted with the knowledge that her son will be part of something important and necessary.
I tell her that, but I don't think that it'll do much good. She's sickly and can't work, and my dad can't hold a job and...
Yes, Iris, I get the point. Things are tough. But if we all pull together, we'll win this war fast, and then things will get back to normal.
I hope so. My brother isn't exactly the fighting type. He's more of a bookworm, if you know what I mean.
Don't worry about that. The army will put him to good use.
If you say so, sir.
Excuse me, miss. I want to speak to the man in charge.
And who may you be?
My name is Ernie Levine, and I want to speak with the man who sent me the notice that I'm now 1A. I thought I had an occupational deferment.
You can appear in writing.
Forget about that. I want to speak with the man in charge now.
Please lower your voice.
I'm sorry for getting a little loud, but it's urgent that I speak with him now. I'm so upset that I feel like I'm going to burst.
Just calm yourself, okay? And I'll see if Mr. McKnight can see you. Mr. McKnight, there's a young man here who wants to speak with you about his classification to 1A. I told him to appear in writing, but he refuses to leave. He says it's urgent that he speak with you. Okay, I tell him. Mr. McKnight will be right out.
Thank you, miss. You've been very helpful.
You're welcome.
Who wants to speak?
He does.
How may I help you?
Well, sir, it's about the notice you sent me, reclassifying me to 1A. You gotta reverse that. Please, I can't leave yet.
What's your name?
Ernest Levine,
Where do you live?
in Brownsville.
Yes. I remember your case. You were granted a 2B employment deferment. However, after further review of your case, it was determined that you are not employed in a war-related industry, so you were reclassified to 1. Hope that explanation helps. Good luck.
But sir, please, I just can't go right now. I'm an only child. My parents need me at home. I'm working to support them. You gotta believe me.
Look, son, we all have to make sacrifices. We're at war. You know that.
But... Mom, Pop, what are you doing here?
We want to speak to the man who sent you that notice.
That's right.
Who are you?
We're Ernie's parents. I'm Saul Levine, and this is my wife, Tilly.
Glad to meet you. Now, how can I help?
It's about the letter you sent my son. How can you draft him? He's our only child, our only son.
It's the law.
What do you mean it's the law? Don't you have any compassion? Our son is needed at home. He's helping us financially.
Look, my hands are tied. Besides, sometimes you have to do your patriotic duty.
Please, don't lecture us about patriotic duty. We get up, we go to work, we keep house, raise our son, go about our business, vote in every election, and pledge allegiance to the flag every day. We're as patriotic as they come.
That's right. I was born right here in Brooklyn. And Saul, he's from Passaic, New Jersey.
That's right, sir, they are. American as apple pie, just like me.
You know, Miss Midnight, that is your name, right? It just ain't right to force someone to go into the army.
It's the law. I told you that already. You told me you're a patriotic, law-abiding American. Then show it. Answer your country's call.
Just hold on there, mister. During the last war, I did answer my country's call. I served overseas with General Pershing. Now, my son is being asked to answer his country's call, but we need him at home.
That's right, they need me.
I sympathize with you. But the law is the law, and there's nothing I can do to change that. Look, I carefully examined your son's file, and I can't find any basis for restoring his 2B deferment. Working in a store that sells wind-up toys and stuffed dolls simply does not qualify as a defense-related industry. Plus, you are gainfully employed. Sorry.
That's all you can say. You're sorry. Well, let me tell you, you haven't heard the last of this. We'll contact our congressman and he'll do something. You watch.
Now you see what you've done, you've upset my parents.
You're beginning to upset me too. Instead of hiding behind your mama's skirt, why don't you try acting like a man?
There's no need to talk to my son that way.
If your son ignores that letter, he will be charged with desertion. That's a serious felony, and I'll personally see to it that he's prosecuted.
Oh, my son's a criminal because he doesn't want to be drafted. Are we in the United States or Russia?
Look, everyone, I'm busy. I have a lot of work to do, so if you don't mind, I wish you all a good day. Get Colonel Laporte on the phone.
Yes, Mr. McKnight.
The nerve of him talking to us like that.
I'll tell you, it wasn't that way in the first war. No, sir, it wasn't. We were treated with respect.
Look, miss, please tell Mr. McKnight that we appreciate the time he gave us, but that he's got to reconsider his decision.
I tell him, but it won't do any good. There are thousands of cases like yours, remember that. Have you thought about joining the Navy?
Army, Navy, it's all the same to me. I just can't go in right now.
Why not? What's really bugging you?
Miss, if I told you, you wouldn't understand.
You're probably right.
Let's go, Ernie. Let's get out of here. End of scene 4. Scene 5. Time, July 6, 1942. Place, interior of a barracks. At an Army basic training post somewhere in the United States. A group of soldiers enter. They are dressed in fatigues. In the group is Ernie, another soldier named Kincaid, and Drill Sergeant Lester McCoy. McCoy is angry.
You are, without a doubt, the worst excuse for a soldier I have ever seen in my 16 years in this man's army.
Yes, sir.
Don't you sir me, you hear? You sir me one more time and I'll knock your block off. I'm on to you, you hear? On to you.
Yes, Sergeant, whatever you say.
Quit that snide attitude. What the hell were you trying to do with that rifle on the range?
What did I do wrong? All I did was point a rifle up in the air. No big deal.
Pointed a rifle up in the air. No big deal. Hey, lunkhead. Who are you trying to fool? You were pointing your rifle right at me and at us. Don't try to game me, boy. Or better yet, try it. Yeah, please. That'll give me a reason to kick your butt from here back to Brooklyn. Oh, that is where you're from, right, Levin?
Yes, Sergeant, and it's Levine, not Levin.
Don't you sass me, boy, you hear? I'll say your name any way I want to. Levin, Levine. Who cares? Let me tell you something. I don't like you. I don't like you. From the first moment you set foot in this unit, I knew you were up to no good. The Army can't afford screw-ups like you. But here you are, and I gotta make a soldier out of you. You try to fight me on this, and you will lose. Big time. Do I make myself clear? Now, if you muck up one more time, you will find yourself in such deep crap that even a pig wouldn't give you the time of day. And as for the rest of you boys, anyone think they can get over on me? Well, just test me out and see how far you get. We ain't playing games. There's a war going on, and you're all gonna be part of it, sooner than you think. When will that idea sink into those thick skulls of yours? It's no use wasting any more of my breath on you slobs.
McVoy exits.
See what you've done? Sarge is ragging on all of us because of you.
I didn't do anything.
That's what they all say.
Who's they? I just hear you talking.
Hey, Levine, nobody likes being here, so quit your griping.
You're the one griping. Listen, I'm telling you that I need to be somewhere else. I didn't volunteer for this. I got pulled in. Shanghai.
Yeah, you and a million other guys.
I don't care about the million other guys. If they're okay with it, that's their business.
What's with you?
Just get on my case already. What are you, pals with the Sarge or something?
That's uncalled for. I'm no suck-up, okay?
You'd fool me.
Get that attitude already. It's a good thing I'm not the Sarge.
And if you were, what would you do, tough guy?
Don't make me show you.
Oh, get out of here.
Kincaid takes a swing at Ernie, who ducks. Ernie grabs Kincaid and twists his arm behind his back.
You do that again, and I may forget that I'm a nice guy. Get it?
Yeah.
Save the rough stuff for overseas. We're just talking, okay?
Yeah, all right. Let go of my arm.
Ernie releases Kincaid.
It's not that I don't want to serve. It's just that I can't.
You want to serve, but you can't. That makes no sense.
You still understand.
You're right. I don't. And I think nobody else does either. Like, what are you trying to do? Get kicked out of the Army?
Yeah, maybe I am.
You know that won't happen. Half the guys in here are trying to get out.
So what? Me and the Army just don't mix. Let's leave it at that.
Quit your acting, will you? You're as tough as they come.
Maybe I am. What of it? I just don't want to be here.
You know, I never met a guy like you. You're like weird.
You looking to go another round with me?
Another soldier enters. His name is Barney Hermanchevsky. He's holding a newspaper.
Hey guys, what's up?
What do you got there?
Today's paper.
Where'd you get the paper?
No one did at the rifle range.
So, what's new in the news?
There's a war going on.
Very funny, wise guy.
Who's being a wise guy? He asked and I answered. Why are you being so touchy? You all saw what you did today at the rifle range.
So you want to get on my case too?
You're not worth it.
Any news about the Dodgers?
Oh, let me see. Great news, the Braves beat the Dodgers 12-2. And of all places, Ebbets Field. I wish I were there to see that. I'll sleep good tonight. I can't stand them bums.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I happen to be from Austin, and the Braves are my team. Whoever says anything against the Braves is asking for it.
You know, Ernie here happens to be from Brooklyn.
And the Dodgers happen to be my team.
That's so. I didn't know that. Well, please accept my apology and condolences.
Why don't you kiss my ass?
My team counts as your team, and I have to kiss your ass. Bend over and I'll kick it instead.
Listen, you. If you don't disappear in 5 seconds, I'm gonna make you eat that newspaper.
I'd like to see you try.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You asked for it!
Ernie and Barney start brawling. Punches are being thrown. Soon both of them are rolling on the floor. Sergeant McVoy enters.
What's all the racket? You, help me pick them up. Here, okay, you two guys, up.
Kincaid pulls Ernie to his feet while McVoy just restrains Barney.
Now, which one of you bozos started this fight?
I did. No way. I did.
No, you want to play it like that, huh? Well, to tell you the truth, I really don't care who started the fight. While you're in this company, you will treat each other as brothers. Get it? The Germans and Japs are the enemy, not your fellow American soldier. Am I making myself clear? I'm sure this ruckus broke out over something totally idiotic, right? Come on, guys, am I right?
Okay, you're right, Sarge. Whatever you say.
What am I going to do with you, Levin? You think you're such a smartass. Well, guess what? You don't know Shinola. Am I making myself clear? And you, Big Shot, you're the Joker with the alphabet name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where do you think you are? Out on the street?
Yes, drill sergeant.
That's better. And by the way, smarty pants, I saw you steal that newspaper. It happened to be mine. You now owe me a nickel. And if I ever see you steal anything again, you will regret the day that you were born. And it will be even worse if you ever steal anything that's personally mine. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, drill sergeant.
Well, then I bid you two screw-ups a good evening.
I'm so glad to raise the dollars. Up yours too.
End of scene 5. Scene 6. Time, October 1942. Place, the Levine apartment. Ernie enters. He's wearing his army uniform and carrying his duffel bag.
Where is everyone?
Ernie, my boy, you're home.
Come on, Mom, it's okay, I'm home.
Why didn't you tell us you'd be coming home?
It was a last-minute thing and I couldn't get to a phone. I hope I didn't surprise you too much.
Oh, Ernie, I'm just so happy that you're home. Wait till your father gets home. Oh, will he be surprised? Oh, my boy's home. My wonderful, beautiful boy. Look who's here!
Ernie, when did you get in?
Just a few minutes ago, Pop.
It's good seeing you, boy. We think about you all the time. Your mother's worried sick over whether you're okay. I'm glad you're home.
Pop, I'm glad to be back too.
How long do you plan to stay?
I was granted 10 days leave, so I guess 10 days.
10 days. That'll give us plenty of time to do lots of things. What's cooking tonight?
I was gonna make some spaghetti, but since Ernie's home, I think I'll make meatloaf. How does that sound?
Sounds great, Mom. My stomach's already growling.
So, how's the army been treating you?
Come on, Pop, you know the answer to that question.
Really, Ernie, we want to know. Is everything all right?
Of course, everything's just fine. I get along with everyone. We're all the best of buddies. As for my Sarge, he treats me like I'm his kid brother. He's constantly teaching me all kind of stuff about being a soldier. Makes me wonder why I made such a fuss about being drafted.
Oh, my boy, I'm so glad you like the Army.
Where are they sending you next?
There's been talk about us being sent somewhere overseas. We're not sure yet. It's all just rumors. By the way, how's Mr. Friedman?
He misses you. You were the best worker he had. Just last week I ran into him on Pitkin Avenue, and the first thing he asked about was you. I tell you, he's one hell of a decent guy, even if he did pay you peanuts.
What about Molly?
Who's Molly?
You know, Mr. Friedman's office girl.
Oh, her! Yes, sweet little thing. I guess she's doing good. She came by last week, asking about you.
Are you sweet on her?
I don't know. We're just friends.
She said she'd come by again. Did you happen to write to her?
No, I didn't write to nobody. Had nothing to write about.
You should write, you know. We're all wondering how you're doing.
Like I said, I'm doing great.
Good night, babe.
I'll get the door. Molly!
Ernie,
Molly, it's good to see you.
when did you get in?
Just a few minutes ago.
I came by last week asking about you. You never write.
Yeah, Mom told me. By the way, come on in.
How are your parents, Molly?
Just fine, Mrs. Levine. They've been asking about Ernie too.
Oh, that's so nice of them.
Would you like to join us for dinner? No, make another place at the table.
You don't have to go to the trouble. I was just visiting.
No, stay. I want you to stay.
If that's the way it has to be, then I stay. It's the least I can do for the war effort.
You know, Molly, it's really swell seeing you again. It really is. I've been thinking a lot about you lately.
And I've been thinking a lot about you too. You're in an army uniform. So handsome. My hero.
Maybe you two kids want to be alone?
Do we?
Let's eat.
End of scene 6, intermission.